Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hi, I'm Jason with Jason Pollock. I am not Jason. Join Jason and Justin back in the green room as they talk with some of their favorite folks from the entertainment industry. And now, the man you haven't been waiting for, Jason Pollock.
Good morning, sweaty listeners today. As you could tell if you've watched my Saturday morning wood shows, that is not the correct intro, but my producer Justin is away right now. So I'm doing what I can without him, but I have a very entertaining guest today. I was on his show and we had a blast chatting. I couldn't wait to have him on my show. And he's now on Helium Radio. Oh, he'll tell you all about that. Please welcome Jim the Podcast Sherpa. Our studio audience is back, mask-free.
I love it. All six of them. Yeah, they sound excited.
Thank you. Thanks for being here, Jim.
Thank you for having me, Jason. You know, I like that little countdown thing. Do you notice that before you go on? There's like a little countdown and there's like a little snowfall thing.
That's a video my producer made, Justin.
It reminds me of the winter, like, oh, great, now I have to go out and shovel.
Well, that would be, believe me, I'd pray for that right now if I could. If I could make any change from this 100-degree heat.
That is true.
See, look at me, I'm shiny. This is terrible. I mean, it's a morning show. It's a realistic morning show. Unlike the people who are so well dressed with their morning coffees doing the fake laughter every morning. Hi.
Hey there.
Yeah.
Good to have you there, Jason. How about that weather? How about those Mets?
Well, are you a Mets fan?
No.
Okay. All right. Good. I mean, not that it matters. We're all equal unless you're a Mets fan.
That's right.
So you're from Long Island, right? That's home for you?
I am from Long Island. Lived here pretty much all my life.
Oh, wow. That's kind of like the West Virginia of New York, isn't it?
I know we have more teeth.
You have more what?
We have more teeth.
You do. You have like 2 more extra teeth than the West Virginia.
That's right. So that at least it puts us higher up on the ladder.
So, Jim, congratulations are in order, isn't it? Because your podcast is now streaming on Helium Radio.
The Helium Radio Network, as of this past day, actually. It started yesterday. It's leading off with last week's episode, so it's always going to be kind of a week behind. It's on Channel 1, Life Improvement Radio. Oh, it's 1L, not 2 L's.
Oh, shoot.
That's okay.
Sorry.
SHERPALUTION. You won't find anybody there. But yes, Friday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Channel 1, Life Improvement Radio. How did I get picked for Life Improvement Radio? I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Do you consider yourself a life improvement coach?
No.
Life Improvement Radio.
I'm almost like a fashion don't. You know, I should have that red line for me.
Well, I mean, I had a good talk with you. Our talk when I did your show, which is called
Too Many Podcasts.
Too Many Podcasts. First of all, that's a great name. Too Many Podcasts. Because that was my thought when I went to start the podcast during the pandemic to stay creative. I thought, how original! I'm going to start a podcast, and that's why I called it Hi, I'm Jason, because I thought nobody's going to freaking know me. So, but you know,
we kind of like the rappers of the early '80s and the '90s, right? Didn't they always have to put their name in the songs and stuff like that so that the listeners would know who they were? So you just carry on a tradition.
I'm just carrying on a tradition. Yeah, my God, I can't believe how sweaty I am. I'm shiny. It's ridiculous.
We'll call it a video glow.
You have a way with words. This is why you're doing the life help, the life, life enhancement, life improvement channel.
He can talk good.
Oh my God. We have a comment. Big Gay Nick commented. I'm at a home inspection. Only have 2 bars. Not sure if you will even see this. We do see it. It's so nice to know we have a listener, a watcher out there.
Hi, Big Gay Nick.
Big Gay Nick used to be a legend in the comedy world.
Did he?
Yeah, he used to manage the club Stand Up New York.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Did you ever
I
do
did
stand
not
up
know
comedy?
that.
Oh, there's your Carson impression. Is that the closest you've come to doing stand up, or have you actually gone on stage?
Oh, I've actually tried, believe it or not.
Um,
Tried being the operative word here, Jason.
and how old were you? Was this
uh,
last month?
this was like a couple of years back. My friend was doing an improv show, and they said, "Oh, you want to do a little intro at the beginning?" And man, that was like the quietest I've ever heard a crowd.
I know what that's like, and yet I still persist. I get it. I totally get it.
And I just rambled on. They were like, my friend was like, they were flashing the lights. He went on about 5 minutes too long. I said, I think it was probably abject fear that was trying to not get me off the stage.
So you had the opposite of beginner's luck.
That's a fair way to put it.
Oh my God. Well, you've improved. You're doing life improvement now. You've learned the hard way, apparently. I can see why you do that, because I had such a good time in your show. I felt like my life has been improved because I found a smile. You made me laugh.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. We actually do occasionally have episodes where we interview folks with podcasts, and they do offer valuable life information. We've even with some of the stuff that's coming up too. I'm getting to the point where I'm calling them Oprah episodes, but I guess it's kind of good, because if people want to listen and really get something out of it, then that's always a plus. I mean, I've had shows where I've definitely learned from people too. So I like being the blank slate where the guest can kind of just fill me in and say, okay, this is what this is all about. And, especially things that like I had no idea about.
Oh, it's always interesting to do that. And hey, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Thanks for tuning in. Lost my train of thought. See, I left my coffee downstairs, which is not a good way to start. This is why morning shows are dangerous for me. I still don't know how those people, the great comics who manage to do warm up and wake up at an ungodly hour to do a show that records early in the morning and be on all that time. It's crazy. Sorry for Brandon. I'm so grateful that you tuned in. Never a distraction. Seriously. Right now, it's awkward silence.
You let it slide, Brandon. It's okay. Be distracting all you want to.
I wanted to ask you a question. I did a show. We did a 24-hour live stream I was part of to raise money for the comedian Bob Nelson,
Sure,
who is suffering with colon cancer, and he's doing much better. But they really helped. People got together, so much camaraderie, and did a great job raising money to help pay his medical expenses. Oh, not one bar, not hearing you, bummer. Well, thanks anyway, Gay Nick. I appreciate you, man. But they started talking about retro toys, and it just took me back. And I wanted to ask you the same question that we were all asking each other. What were some of the toys that you played with from your childhood that kind of that don't even exist today, or one of your favorites?
Okay. Wow, some of my favorites. I think that every kid liked G.I. Joes back in the day.
Oh yeah. I'm so upset because I had one of the originals, like the big guys like this. It was my
Right.
uncle's, and I inherited it. But when I was young, I didn't know any better, and I think I just lost it or broke it. I didn't realize how much they'd be worth. It breaks my heart to look at this stuff now and see how much these things cost. Like my Star Wars action figures, I left them out in the snow and they froze, and I was such a stupid kid when it came to the value of things.
Was Han Solo frozen like this?
In fact, he might have been. No, I didn't put Han Solo in the snow because I didn't want to break that one. But that was my gem, my prized possession is my Han Solo. But yeah, I lost Stormtroopers and Vader and.
See, now I'm a little bit older than you. Some of the G.I. Joes I had these certain features to them. One of them had like the afro, like they had like the fuzzy.
That's the one I had. It was like this big. I had the big afro, the beard,
and the beard. Yeah, and they always have the scar on their face. Why do they all have the same scar on their face?
Oh yeah, it was on the same spot. Maybe it was a POW thing.
Maybe it was. And some of them had what they call the kung fu grip because their hands could go like that. Oh.
That's right. The kung fu grip. Like, we can't fix the fingers. Call it a kung fu grip.
It's a manufacturing defect. Call it a kung fu grip.
One of the things I used to do when I was young, and I guess, my parents wouldn't always buy me the action figures I wanted when I asked for it, because they were like, we don't have the money, whatever. I never called family services on them. I would just create my own. And I used to cut pictures out of the TV guide of the actors that even just any actor, and make action figures out of them, make them do little stories. Like, I had little Sherman Hemsley. I remember there was a giant Tom Selleck. It was like, took up most of the page. This size wasn't accurate, but
especially if Sherman Hemsley is bigger than Tom Selleck.
Oh, it was the other way around. But yeah, I used to make my own action figures, my own stories. I used to play in the yard, and kids would play war, and I do play war by myself, my own version. I would do it as credits for a movie. Like, I loved TV and movies that much. I was such an introvert that when I played by myself in the yard, I would be like, starring George Papard, and they'd all shoot and then die, like every one of my actors. So it was so weird.
It could have literally have been Battle of the Network Stars then.
Oh my God, what a great idea that would have been. Yes. I need to make an indie film about my childhood.
You might have something there.
I got so bored with Monopoly that I used to take the pieces and make them go on adventures. That was always fun.
Adventures of the Top Hat.
I remember the iron and the thimble were girls in my little mind, and that was just how it was. There's no sexism there. It was just in my head. I had to make some girls and I had to make some guys. So the iron. It's good that
you make gender assignments with just inanimate objects.
Yeah, I didn't know any better back then about the why can't I think of the binary? The word binary wasn't in my young mind when I was 8.
Okay. That's fair enough.
So what are your plans for this weekend, Jim?
Probably a lot of sweating.
Yeah, I have the same thing going on right now.
So, a couple of weeks ago, my wife and I were watching TV, and I probably shouldn't say the name of the restaurant. It was a nationally known restaurant, and they had these little breakfast specials, these little breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
So she said, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. We haven't eaten yet. And there's one of the places right around the block. So I went there to go get it. And I guess it was about 10:30. And like I said, I won't say the name of the restaurant, but of course I had to deal with the stupidest cashier in the world. And I said, I'd like to order one of those breakfast sandwiches. And she said, oh no, we're only serving them for lunch. So I said, well, there's a reason that they're called breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
And she's looking at me confused, and then she's looking at her manager like how do I get out of this?
I never thought about this.
Yeah, and the manager, who was really McHelpful, says
McHelpful.
We made some a couple of hours ago. I can heat them up for you. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks for keeping up on that promise for fresh food. I came here for breakfast. You want to offer me a chew toy?
Oh my God.
I think
we're aware of what it is.
How would you know that, McJason?
I remember seeing in Israel there was a McDonald's there, and they added Mick to everything. It said McDrive for the drive. It was just adorable. But there was like hummus in there. It was like a much more healthier McDonald's.
I don't know if I'd want to eat McHummus. I'd be a little scared about that.
Yeah.
Especially if a toy comes in the bottom of it or something like that.
A toy comes in the bottom of it. It'll be all gross and hummusy and mashed chickpea. Oh, man. So tell me about your podcast, Jim.
Well,
Sherpa.
Sure. It is called Too Many Podcasts. And I really created it for people who are new to podcasts or people who've been listening to podcasts and they say, you know what, I want to check out something different. So I get to talk to podcasters, kind of like yourself, and they get to know them a little bit and they get to promote their show and talk about the shows that they like. And I offer shows that they can check out as well. So there's a whole bunch whenever you tune in to think about, oh, there it is. That's Sherpolution. Dun, dun, dun. And that's basically it. We interview, we have a good time. We had a lot of laughs when you were on my show, which will be on later in the year. And I'm sure we will be hyping that a lot. And also we do the Sherpa screening room where I get to talk to people from the entertainment business and like a lot of writers and actors and singers and so on and so forth. And they kind of tell their stories. We don't do too much podcast there, but we definitely get to know these people. And I've had some really wonderful guests on there. And I'm a big 80s music buff. So I did a show also that's exclusively on Spotify. You're shameless self-promotion. With my voiceover guy, Mr. Bruce, and we did too many 80s songs. And we picked like a theme and we picked out like 10 songs to discuss them. So I keep pretty busy.
That's great. So you have 3 different shows.
Yeah, well, the 80s thing was just kind of like a little side project. We have to get more people to listen to that one. But the other ones are still going strong. And we've been doing it for a little bit. It's just me. I've been doing it for a little bit over 2 years.
Get out. So that's why you kind of established a name for yourself over there.
Yeah, but it's not a good name.
I kind of like
it comes with a swear. You know, like how like when people call a stupid person Einstein, but they mean, you know, you're an idiot. So they go Sherpa. It's kind of along those lines.
Okay, I got you. Now, we got to. Have you managed to get an 80s musical guest on the show?
I tried. Oh, this is a good story. And this is actually true. I'm not making this up. Originally, when I first started, I wanted to do like a music podcast and an 80s music podcast. And I actually did email artists from the 80s and said, I was going to call it 80s Music School. And I never got any responses from anybody. But the ones that I did were pretty funny because there was one artist. I don't know. Should I say his name or should I not say his name? Well, I'll hint at it. So he's been living in Berlin for like the last couple of years. He was a British 80s artist. And I said, I'm doing this podcast, and I was wondering if you'd like to, talk a little bit about your experience of doing music in the 80s. Would you be interested? I got an email back. Hello, Jim. He would not be interested. That was the whole email.
At least he was honest.
I was thinking, if he's living in Berlin, why didn't he just say 9?
I'm so curious now. Oh, Sarah Bradford says good morning.
Hi, Sarah.
Good morning,
Sarah was on my
Sarah.
show too. I think she's my upcoming guest.
Oh, she was the delight. I was on her show. I can't remember whose show was on. Sarah, was I on yours or were you on my show? Or am I just that old? We were talking about it. I'm going to be 50 in December. This is terrible. My memory is going. Oh my God. 4 months away from that colonoscopy. She was on my show. Okay, yes, she was on mine, and we had so much fun.
You should check out Sarah's show too, the SJ Childs show. We'll do a little promo for Sarah.
Yeah, let's do that. She's all about mental health, and she's also a life coach of sorts.
Yeah, and an author.
That's right. She wrote some kids' books, didn't she?
Yep.
And I'm trying to find her information. Oh no, I guess I didn't have it saved. No, that's not Sarah's book.
That belonged to Mark Stansel, by the way. That's a little
that was Mark
trivia
Stansel,
for you.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's not it either. But that's to let the ladies know. Don't get excited right now. All right. I'm failing miserably because I didn't have my coffee this morning.
See what you need with caffeine, folks.
Yeah, it's you ever been in a morning where it's just too hot for coffee?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
then again, our house was built in 1875. We're suffering with wall unit air conditioners.
Ah, you don't have
Uh,
those beams across the ceiling, do you?
I heard those are great. The splits, right?
I think so.
Yeah, the people tell me they're wonderful.
But like the fake wood, not like the real wood. They just kind of put them across the ceiling.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh my god, I thought you were talking about the air conditioners.
Oh no, not the air conditioning.
No. We've got regular ceilings. I have to look. I'm looking like. Am I sure? Yeah, it's just a white ceiling. I would show you, but it's slightly more. Actually, here, look, slightly more interesting than me. Just a white ceiling.
Okay.
Yes, this house was built in 1875, and it's so weird to think of all the historical milestones that happened while this house was alive. Like
That's
George
true.
Michael was born and died while this house existed. I think there's some other things that happened.
Yeah, probably one or two.
Yeah.
You might be able to squeeze those in there.
Oh yeah, sjchilds.org is her website. Yes. Oh, you're welcome, Sarah. She's the best.
Super nice lady.
Yeah. So
A
I
lot
was
of fun.
thinking. I'm trying to think of German '80s musical personalities. The only one that's coming to mind is Falco.
Well, Falco was Austrian. Remember Nena?
oh.
99 Luftballons?
Nina, yes, but you said yours was a guy.
Mine was the person who said 9. Yeah. No, he was British, actually. He's just living in Berlin right now.
Oh, okay. It wasn't a member of Duran Duran or Adam Ant, was it?
No. But let me see. You gotta look sharp.
You gotta look. Is that a hint?
Yes.
You gotta look sharp. If anybody
But
knows,
I don't know, maybe if you see a girl and you say, well, is she really going out with him? Well, okay.
is she really gonna take him home tonight?
You got it.
Going out with him.
I had another artist. They responded right away. Yes, he would love to do it. The representative responded. And then the next day they said, let's revisit this in a year. Do you need that much time to think about it?
Oh my God. What was that?
He was a well-known drummer. Steve got it. We have to send him a prize or something like that. Recognition. Steve Cooper, you win.
If anybody would have had him on the show, it would have been Steve. Steve manages to get everybody. And he's got a great show as well.
Okay.
If you get to know Steve Cooper, fun show. This guy, he manages to talk to everybody in the music business and then some.
Well,
and I don't know how.
The revisit guy was he was a drummer in a very famous 80s rock trio. I'll put it that way.
A drummer in a famous 80s rock trio.
Yeah.
Not Power Station, right?
No. They were in a trio. I think there were.
Oh no, there was 4 of them. You're right. I feel like we're doing 80s music trivia now. This is great.
It always comes back to 80s music with me for some weird reason. I don't know why.
Oh, he got turned down by Joe too.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Now I feel a lot better. Did you get the 9? He will not be on the podcast.
I actually didn't know he was British.
Yeah, I think he was. I'm pretty sure that he is.
Yeah, he does that song. Do 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 do. I can't think of dreaming. Stepping out.
Ooh, look at that! Boom!
That was impressive. That song goes absolutely nowhere. I don't understand how that song became a hit. I really don't.
And there's no guitars on that song either. Just piano and a bass.
Do 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 boom 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 boom. I'm gonna stop Bobby McFerrin that song. Adam Ant he's somebody I'd love to get on the show.
He'd probably be pretty interesting. He actually spent time. They institutionalized him.
Yes,
because he was like, wasn't he trying to rob a store or something like that? And they locked him up and they put him in an institution.
I don't know that whole story. I just know he kind of had a nervous breakdown or something.
Right.
Yeah, I mean the odds of him watching right now are very slim. So I'd love to get him as a guest, but Maybe I shouldn't talk. What?
Would you like some Adamant trivia?
I'd love some Adamant trivia.
What's his real name?
Okay, that's a really good question. Because I don't know. I think you got me some. Wait.
Stuart Goddard.
Stuart, I did know that. Hey, Keith Whitcliffe. Hi, anyway.
Hi, Keith. Hi, Jack. I don't have my glasses on.
It says Jock.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in, Steve.
Yes.
To The Morning Wood with Jason and Jim, the podcast Sherpa.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, speaking of Morning Wood, how was your wake up this morning?
I managed to get up, so I think that's a good start.
Yeah, at our age, absolutely.
That's right.
I mean, look, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I look better than you. No, I'm just kidding. I will. Oh, thank you, Keith. Keith is awesome. I really appreciate that. That's really nice.
A brave man, truly a brave man.
A brave man.
A credit to his community.
I'm appreciative. So, what do you have any good shows coming up that we want to check out?
Remember the tag team group, the group tag team. I'm sorry, I'm talking backwards now. The group tag team. Whoop! There it is.
The music.
The hip hop group.
I thought you were talking wrestling at first.
Oh no, no, there were
the people who did Whoop. There it is.
Whoop! There it is. Yeah, I will be talking to DC, the Brain Supreme, in a couple of weeks.
Get out! That's awesome.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy. He had a really interesting perspective on fame, and I liked talking to him. He was very philosophical about it too. He really wanted to get involved with a lot of other things after having that. And he really said, you know, we knew we weren't superstars, and to follow up a massive hit, and that was a huge hit for them, with another massive hit, we weren't sure if we could do that. So he said, let's just figure, you know, how we can market the song that we've got already, and then figure out what we'll do with our lives from then on. So it was an interesting way to look at it, because there's sometimes people that they get that moment of fame and then they keep trying to cash in, and sometimes it just doesn't click, you know, and they become like, you know, didn't you used to be, you know, that person? And nobody really wants that.
I know, but I mean, I feel like at this point, like, especially, I mean, in my career, my short-lived career, I feel like if I was known for one thing, like Robert Englund is known for Freddy Krueger. He's done other things, but that's what he's known for. And he seems like he really appreciates it. He doesn't even have to act anymore. He could just work these con circuits and make thousands. I would be so grateful if I was that loved for one role at this point, you know? I mean, I guess it could be the ego factor with people, or just you want to be known for more, but like Gilligan and Bob Denver was Gilligan, and he was always known for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like right now it's such a, you got to be appreciative of what you had, even if you're known for the one thing.
Sure.
I've been listening to the Righteous Brothers lately. Gotta love the Righteous Brothers.
Very cool.
Yeah. I wish we made that video of me and you doing pottery together to Unchained Melody. We still have to make that happen.
I guess that was lost to the archives, Jason.
Yes. Have you had any of the Righteous Brothers on your show, or do you plan to? Or are they still alive even?
You know what? I will actually answer that question. I just interviewed a guy. He was the lead singer of Paul Revere and the Raiders, of the second incarnation for a while. And he actually would perform sometimes with Bill Medley. And he's got that great voice. He's filled in for like a lot of other singers. He was like the original lead guitarist for the Backstreet Boys.
And he's with Paul in the Raiders?
And yeah, he was. He's doing solo stuff right now. Darren,
yeah, I'm interviewing him in September, one Wednesday in September.
He's a lot of fun, and he does impressions too. And when he performs, He'll do musical impressions. I got him to do a Michael Bolton impression.
Wow.
So his show is actually going to be on around the same time that yours is, like probably like a week or so apart. So when people want to check that out later on in the year,
yeah, he's got quite a resume.
Oh yeah, and he's done movies. He acts, he sings, impressions. He's a writer. He's a director. He's definitely one of these multi-talented people.
He's one of those people I would have hated in high school because I wanted to do so much and I was such an introvert. All I did was watch TV and wrestling and cry.
Who's your favorite wrestler growing up?
Well, I mean, it was the 80s, so,
Okay.
I would say Hulk Hogan, but Roddy Piper I always had an affection for Roddy Piper. And then when I had my comedy club, I had Rascals Comedy Club in Cherry Hill. And this guy comes in. I said, I represent Roddy Piper. He's doing some stand-up. He's here at the hotel. Would you mind if he did some time tonight? I was like, yes. I was speechless. Of course. Like, bring him in now. And he went up and did 20 minutes. And I could see why he should have stuck to wrestling. It was brutal. But Brutus Beefcake. I remember meeting Brutus Beefcake, and I felt this big compared to the guy was a monster. I took a picture of him and Greg Valentine, and Greg's my head. I have a big head, but Greg's arm was bigger than my head. I looked so tiny in this picture. Like, I think Brutus Beefcake's like 6'8", 6'7".
Wow.
I'm 5'6". So yeah, it was.
I remember when he used to cut the people's hair when he would win. They made him Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Oh, that's right, Brutus the Barber. Do you remember adorable Adrian Adonis?
Sure.
It was so tragic what happened to him.
Yeah. A lot of them. It's so sad that a lot of them they meet these early demises. Many of them don't really live to be very old. Especially when they're in their career or even after their career.
Because they have be a senior citizen as a pro wrestler, you're doing okay.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Yeah, I remember after Roddy Piper got off stage, this really funny comic, Kurt Metzger, got up after that. He said, "I can't believe Piper was here, man. He came here to tell jokes and chew gum, and he was all out of jokes." Like a line. And then Piper rushed the stage with a chair. It was just the coolest moment.
Do you remember Piper's Pit? He used to do that little mini talk thing.
Yes.
And of course, the world famous episode when he interviewed Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and he whacked him in the head with a coconut.
That's right. It was a coconut, not a chair. That was great. Yeah, that scene is immortalized. Yeah. Did you have a favorite wrestler?
Favorite wrestler? Yeah. I was a big fan of the Road Warriors. The Legion of Doom, I guess
that was NWA, right?
Yeah, they were in the WWE for a little while too, and I was just so impressed with just their awesomeness and
thank you, Keith.
Their talent. I always was amazed by like big guys who could just move around that ring like they were cats.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's fake, but you have to be athletic. You got to be in shape. Like Superfly Snuka was so why can't I think of the word because I'm old? Was so agile.
Yeah, agile is a good word.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Thesaurus.
I'm gonna go with agile. Thank you, Thesaurus. So I just had a woman on my show, Dr. Karen Mead. She was an astrobiologist from University of Hawaii. Okay. I thought, I've got a show. We interview a lot of celebrities, a lot of people from the entertainment world, comedians mostly. And I'm going to go for an astrobiologist because I watched her TED Talk and I found it fascinating. It was about discovering an interstellar object that came in, and they don't know if it's a comet or an asteroid, but it was really cool. And I felt so out of my element. This woman is a PhD in astrobiology. She works for NASA. She's a professor. I mean, she's done a TED Talk, and she would explain something to us, and I thought I would be so fascinated by this, and I was. I thought I'd be able to keep up with the conversation, but I don't know what the hell I was thinking. she would say something riveting, and I'd just say, even my co-host Justin, we were just, wow, that's cool.
They probably are used to that, though.
We're not. They probably are used to that. Yeah. I felt like when Chris Farley had Paul McCartney on the Chris Farley show. Remember that? He's like,
remember when you were in the Beatles?
Yes. Oh my God, I was so out of my element. It was ridiculous.
That does. I know. I had an astrophysicist on my show last season, and I knew like I wasn't going to stay at that level, so I just said, "I got questions for you."
Right. Okay. So I wasn't alone there. All right. So it's just a phenomenon I never experienced before. I get it. Because usually we're talking about entertainment, horror movies or comedy or something, and I could keep up with that. But yeah, astrophysicist, not me.
Right. I mean, it's easy to talk about like Silly Putty works well when you put it against the newspaper and you pick it up and you see the picture of the comic strip. But the science of a black hole, it gets a little deep.
Oh, that's one of the good things. She doesn't know. She didn't know too much about black holes. Her studies in asteroids and comets, interstellar objects, life on other planets. And what we did establish from that conversation is, there is no real. I mean, there's life out there. There's got to be life like us somewhere out there in the vast solar system somewhere. But the only life on Earth from an interstellar object or interplanet, whatever, is from when an asteroid would have hit Mars and it would have crashed to Earth, and we'd get some bacteria from Mars or the moon or wherever an asteroid came from. So right now it's just in the form of bacteria, is what we were told. The other thing she mentioned that I found really fascinating and horrifying. I said, all right, first things first, then what's her contingency plan if we spot an asteroid or comet coming towards Earth? And her response was, we don't have one, but we're watching for them. And I wasn't good with that. I was not comfortable with that answer.
That's not exactly a source of comfort.
No. So this is why we have to just live for the moment.
Yeah. It's weird when every once in a while you see those little news headlines, like they say, like, oh, this huge asteroid just missed Earth by so many 100 miles.
I think you want to go, was anybody watching? What were you going to do? How did you miss that?
They can tell when someone's using my Netflix password, but they can't tell when a meteor is coming by.
Right. But you know what I find so... Oh my God, that's true. That's a good point. What I find so fascinating is, she's showing an image of what the telescope sees of this little comet in the sky, the Oumuamua. Oumuamua. That's a song.
Was he snapping his fingers while it was going by?
Oumuamua. It's Oumuamua. And okay. It was going like, you see it, and it's just like you're looking at the sky, you see a shooting star or something flying way up there among the cosmos. And she's like, we tracked this for a couple weeks. I'm like, how do you manage to keep an eye on that thing? And they have this technology that I can't wrap my head around. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and they know when everything lines up, and I love that.
Oh, it's fascinating to me.
Even though you don't have the high-power telescopes that we have, these three planets are going to be lining up, and you can see a little man on top of it waving.
There's something on the wing of that comet. Yes.
There's a man on the wing of the plane.
I was waiting for that. Yes. Remember,
I didn't want to let you down.
Thank you. John Lithgow did that too, remember?
That's right.
And there was that one quick moment. I was obsessed with that scene when I was young, where his eyes popped out, and I used to try to pause it on that exact moment to say, look, his eyes are popping out. That movie used to creep me out when I was young. I loved it.
Yeah, that was a great... See, they don't make fun movies like that anymore, though, I have lots of people who do movie shows on the podcast, and we always talk about that you don't get that great audience experience anymore nowadays than you do when a lot of other movies came out. I mean, maybe with the superhero movies and like the Star Wars remakes, but then it kind of stops right there. And you know,
Right.
you're attracting a very specific audience with these, where like a broad comedy like or silly comedy like Animal House or There's Something About Mary, you could get a packed house and people are just roaring throughout the whole
Oh yeah,
movie.
and they're so quotable. I was talking about that the other day. The movies are not quotable like they used to be.
That's
Most
true.
of the movies we're quoting is like Ghostbusters, Caddyshack, even The Big Lebowski's, one of the more recent ones, and that was the 90s. But yeah, I don't. If anybody watching can think of a quotable movie from the from recent years, please let me know. I can't think of any.
Yeah, I would absolutely be drawing a blank. I would absolutely be drawing a blank with something pretty recently quotable. Nothing even comes close, and I don't know why.
However, as far as good movies go, I did just watch The Suicide Squad. I freaking loved it. It's one of my favorites of the year. This is what's quotable. Just this podcast. Thank you, Mark Steinhagen. I'm going to be sure to clip and quote a lot of our moments from this. We'll have some we'll create some catchphrases.
Just with paper clips.
When you said just with paper clips. Oh, all right, we're going to do that. Hold on.
There you go. That's our catchphrase. Just with paper clips.
All right. That's a good idea. Hey, you know what? Just with paper clips is what we always say, right? That's with paper clips.
Oh, wait. We have to make it updated. So we have to say hashtag just with paper clips.
And don't forget to tune in. Hashtag just with paper clips.
That's who I will be interviewing this week on Too Many Podcasts. I will now build a carburetor just with paper clips.
Oh my God, that was a great voice. You could easily do a Bat villain. I could see you. I could see this in your future.
That's it.
Well,
I look evil enough.
Just with paper clips. What?
I said I look evil enough so that could work.
You would be an adorable Bat villain. If I had to either Egghead or the Penguin. I don't know, one or the other.
No. I thought it would be like Short Hairy Man. Oh no, it's Short Hairy Man! Run!
I think we could both cover that ground. So this is Fight of the Short Hairy Men.
Uh-oh. He's shedding on the couch right now. Quick, get him up! Get him up!
Get the lint roller! No, not the lint roller.
Get the Dirt Devil.
Oh. Listen, Jim, it's been so much fun waking up with you this morning. Is what your wife says all the time, I'm sure.
Thank you for clarifying that. This is so much fun.
And hey, just with paper clips.
Just with paper clips, hashtag. Or hashtag just with paper clips.
Hashtag just with paper clips. And remember to tag this show on hashtag just with paper clips. Oh my God, what a dream that would be. Finally, we go viral with just with paper clips.
All right, all you listeners out there, all you viewers, we got a bunch of messages here. I think you guys should all go on your favorite social media pages and just do hashtag just with paper clips.
I love it. No, it's seriously really nice of you to come on this morning, Jim. Thank you so much for being part of it.
Thank you so much for having me, Jason. And guys, later on in the year, Jason will be on my show, and you'll hear a lot of the fun conversation that we had, especially with prostate exams and colonoscopy.
That's right. This is the Middle-Aged Men show.
That's right.
And you can find Jim at all his social media as Sherpolution. Be sure to follow him for some very entertaining content. Yeah, Sherpolution. Or check out his website, sherpolution.com.
Yep, it's all there. You can hear all the episodes, hear about upcoming guests, and some of the links to my other little side projects, and to the Sherpa shop where you can buy merchandise. Merchandise! We all need merchandise.
Oh, no, not that. Hold on. I messed up. This is why I need my producer.
I'm back.
I can't figure this out. Okay.
We're on equal squaring now.
I'm trying to figure something out. I wanted to do an effect, but it's... I give up. I give up. I need some practice with the StreamYard thing, but it's okay. We'll get through this. We'll get through this together.
Okay.
This is
But-
why this is my producer is actually Justin Gonzalez, who's a frontman of a Queen tribute band called the Killer Queen Experience 33 and a Third. They're playing at the Mock Chunk Opera House this weekend in Jim Thorpe, PA, which is a beautiful little opera house, a big opera house. And Justin's voice, if you ever get the chance to listen to him, please do. He sings, he's got one of the greatest voices on the planet. And it was just an honor to be knowing him. You should talk to him because he's wonderful.
Yeah. And you've got to be a good singer if you're doing Queen. So
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a big enough thing. If you're horrible and you're like, is this a real life with this just fantasy? No, get off the stage.
Yes. That's a perfect example of what not to do in a
That's
Queen
right.
show. Okay, this is a perfect, yeah. All right. My goal is to make things really awkward before we go.
Okay. You're on
No.
a good track there.
All right. Well, listen. Jim, thank you once again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And when and where can people hear you next?
New episodes come out every Wednesday. You can hear it on any podcast app or sherpolution.com. And you'll hear the previous weeks on Fridays, 8:30 a.m. on the Helium Radio Network.
Excellent. I can't do this. Okay.
We're going in, we're going out. Like we're in a posse number here. Almost
All right.
getting-
Thank you for bearing with me and my producing skills on my own today.
Well, you're doing better than I would, so don't worry about it.
Oh, that's very nice of you. All right, Jim. Thank you once again. Thank you, wife, for giving me your time.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot
Of
fun.
course. And take care one more time for Jim the Podcast Sherpa.
Viva la revolution!
All right. Thanks again. Take care of yourself. See you, Jim. I got to figure out how to end the broadcast. Okay. Bye.
Welcome to the radio.